What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Pints and Putts. On this week's episode, we have the wonderful Kyle Walton with us. Kyle has worked with Erik Anders Lang, the U.S. Women's Open, Matt Cardis from Golf in Your State. Kyle is also the founder of Gimme Golf Club, which we're going to dive into a bit later today.
Good to be here. I've paid attention to your guys' first few episodes here. It looks pretty awesome. I'm always excited to hop on podcasts and have some chats with people, so it's a pleasure to be here.
I know I kind of just introduced you, but would you mind kind of just introducing yourself and maybe giving a quick background about, golf and filmmaking?
Yeah, so the golf aspect of the filmmaking is actually not that old. I've really only been doing it for, I don't know, maybe a year, a little over a year, 20 months or something like that. Burke, as I was involved in this No Small Creators group with Cody Warner, a guy on YouTube, and I sort of attempted this 30 video and 30 day project. And I think that's actually where me and you sort of interacted for the first time. I got inspired. I was trying to break some creative patterns, and so I jumped in and did this project, and it went really well, but I was more concerned about how I was going to be able to create like that, have a job, be a dad, and play golf, because I like to play golf, a lot of golf. These 3 or 4 worlds didn't quite connect for me, and I didn't really know what I was going to do about it. And so somebody actually sent me Erik Anders Lang's video, Dear Golf, and it was like, hey, it looks like you'd make something like this. And I don't understand why I didn't make that connection prior to that moment, but I was kind of like, yeah, it does look like it's not focused on the score. It's more on the, sort of the narrative and sort of the things about golf that I love. And man, this makes a lot of sense. And so at that point, I just decided to go for it and sort of pivoted my Insta channel towards golf and decided to make some content around it. And then from that moment on, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, really, because it went really well, and it's been, it's sort of solidified, a purpose for what I want to do and how I want to do it, and in the environment that I want to be in, which is around the game that I really like to, play.
We are both filmmakers ourselves, so I kind of want to talk about that. And if you could kind of reflect, you started making golf videos, and then all of a sudden now you're working with these high-profile people doing amazing things and high-profile brands. Can you kind of reflect on what spawned that?
I did a lot of free work, and I did a lot of DM diving. I asked people if I can ever bring you any value with my camera, let me know. And then hopefully my work kind of spoke for itself. I was, specifically with Cardis. It was a great opportunity. Golf in Your State. Dude's out there. He's a really good guy. His story's incredible. I'd followed him before I even met him. And, he's the golf hobo. He lives out of a van, and he's a professional photographer, and he's really good at what he does. And he's got a great story as to, how that all came about. And so I was entertaining making another 30 video in 30 days project for Golf Centric, just because I was scratching the itch again. And he reached out and told me that, hey, we should make something together. And so he had been paying attention, I guess, and I met him down at the PGA show last year. And so that's sort of how that specific situation started. I did a couple edits for Erik. That was literally he hopped on his Instagram stories and was like, hey, I need an editor, fill out an application. So I just sent him my YouTube channel. I sent him my stuff, and then one of his assistants got back, and next thing you know, I had a external hard drive at my house and was editing a video. Then I did the BMW, and then that's when Matt called and was like, hey, I have this thing that might happen. It's pretty big. And I was like, okay, whatever that means. And then a couple weeks later, he's like, all right, are you this is what's going to happen. It's, 8 locations, 25 days, 8 videos. We will be in possession of the U.S. Open trophy, and we'll be taking it across the country. And I was just like, still, it's just like, okay, whatever, this is insane, hey babe, I'm going to be gone for 25 days, you know, like, which was hard for sure. But yeah, what a ride, like insane ride. You know, Wingfoot, Pinehurst, Oakmont, Erin Hills, Cherry Hills, Olympic Club, Pebble Beach, Torrey Pines.
When you guys were out on the 25 days and, you know, shooting your 8 different videos, was there a standout moment as far as, you know, and that could be creative, that could be who you met? Was there something that stands out and that sticks with you to this day?
There's 2 moments really that stick out. I mean, from like a beauty perspective, Olympic Club at sunrise, like a San Francisco sunrise, in like that misty, foggy, it felt like Pandora, the cypress trees everywhere. Like I tell people, I was kind of waiting for like a dinosaur to kind of come around the corner. It was just too good. So I was able to fly, you know, I was flying the drone and I'm out there by myself. And yeah, that was a moment where I was just like, it was towards the end of the trip. You're running on E, you know, you're going from town to town and, you know, driving in between and those sort of, you know, sunrise, up at sunrise every day. But you get out and something hits and it's good, you know, like you're like, okay, this is, yeah, where else would I want to be right now? You know what I mean? Like this is really, really good. That was one moment. And then at Pebble at sunset, we were out there, just me and Matt. And I was like, I have a picture of me sitting on like the tee box next to 7, which is the iconic par 3. Right off of the water, like 120-yard par 3, and I got the trophy sitting right next to me because we had it out to take some pictures of some sun stuff at sunset, and I was just like, I was just tired and emotional probably, so I was just having a moment, and I was just like, hey Matt, snap a pic because I need this, and it'll be a moment that I remember for a long time just because I've seen that golf course my entire life, and I don't come from a ton of money and I never was able to play a lot of golf courses growing up, but like I've watched Tiger Woods win on that golf course on repeat. Like when I was in college, I had that on VHS and I would roll it before like every match. Like, so like I just know that course so well. So like to come full circle and be sitting there like with permission with the US Open trophy next to me at sunset, like at one of the most iconic, you know, holes in the world was just like a moment that was like, it was special. And so that's the one that, you know, emotionally, like that's the moment that I'll, you know, take with me for forever.